Hey, good morning. Welcome back. The generator saga continues. Let me just give you a little history. The generator is up at Clarkson in New Haven getting refurbished. But I'm impatient. It's been there 3 days and I haven't even heard back from them about a quote. And I got this original generator that came with the truck. And I'm going to take it apart and see if I can get this one to work. What do I got to lose? Just a little history. The engine that's in that truck is a donor engine, and it came with a generator. And I took that generator and this one here up to Clarkson, months ago when I started getting things going. And they said this generator is not functional on the bench test, but the other one was fine. Now the other one, since it's failed, no fault to them. Things wear out, but I'm going to see if I can get this one to work because I just watched a video on how to take these things apart. And let's just see what happens. So I just watched an interesting video on how to disassemble this generator, and once I get it apart, I'm going to have to wire wheel it. It's got a nameplate on it. Probably says Delco Remy if I had to guess. And it's got the band on it. This is similar to the starter motor. I remember I broke this band on the starter. This pops right off. What a mess in there. Holy cow. And I bet the brushes are probably worn out. They're even there at all, but I'm sure it doesn't hurt to just clean this up, see if I can get it working. And I wonder, maybe I should just clean it on the outside first before I do anything. It's probably the smarter thing to do. There's a little oiler right here. All sorts of cobwebs. I have some electrical cleaner. I'm going to go grab it and spray it down with the electrical cleaner. So this is the stuff I'm using. I don't know where I picked this up from, but I've had it for a while. And I figure I'll just spray it in here. Probably very similar to like brake clean or something, but it's made for cleaning electrical stuff. You know what? I'll spray it on that nameplate too. There's the biggest mess right there. I don't know if you can see that. All cobwebs and whatnot. Eventually I've got to open this back cap up, take this cap off, and then the brushes will close in. I'll see if I can clean it up before I put the brushes back together. If I remember right, I've got to disconnect the wires before I can pull that piece off. So let me see. Let me just loosen it up first. So I'll go get some tools. So what I've done, I've taken the two screws out to hold the wires onto this. I've got these long bolts loosened up. I had to use the impact on those. So this back plate should lift right off. And you hear that snapping noise? That's the brushes snapping closed. When I go to put them back on, I got to hold them open. So it'll go around this thing. So there's one brush. It's already popped out. There's the other one. So I've got to figure out how to get them back in, for starters. Because they're held in place or pushed in place with these springs. They go there and there, and the springs push them back and forth. I don't know if you can see that. That's the way it's supposed to operate. So if I just clean that all up, this thing might work again, but I still got to run up to New Haven to pick up the voltage regulator, which I dropped off with them. So I might as well just continue cleaning this up and painting it, and then maybe tomorrow go get the voltage regulator and try this thing out. Put it in the truck. What do I got to lose? Works, it works. And then by then maybe they'll get back to me and say, hey, you know, it's going to cost $300 to repair this this generator we have up there. Do you want to do it or not? And I'll just say, hey, no thanks. I got one that works now. Or, yeah, why not? I could pay $300 for a spare that'll sit on a shelf, which I can't. But so I'm in deep now. Pulled that out. Pulled that out. I think this is called the armature. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it looks like it needs a good cleaning. This is very similar, I think, to the starter when I took the starter apart. So I'm just going to try to clean up everything, paint it, and put it back together and see if it works. So before I got into taking this thing completely apart, see it's over there, I ran up to Clark Son in New Haven. They're the ones who specialized in old generators, among other things. But I picked up the old generator, and the guy showed me, the guy's name is Scott, what I'm looking at. I don't know if you can see it in there. You see that line on the inner wall? That's solder. And he says what's happening is the solder's melting from being overheated, and it's throwing the solder onto the outer wall from the armature as it goes around. And a wire probably came loose, and that's why it stopped generating. He says some people try to resolder that wire, and he didn't recommend it. So I just picked up this generator from him without him doing anything to it. He was a nice enough guy. He probably could have charged me for a diagnostic fee, and he did not. So thank you for that. And what I'm doing now is getting ready to paint this with some Rust-Oleum rust reformer. I hit it with the wire wheel, and I just want to get a good coat of that paint on there. I threw some paper in there so I don't get paint on the inside. I got it sitting flat on the bottom. I'll give that a good spray down and start putting this thing back together. So there it is, back together. The trickiest part was getting the brushes to hold back. I used some toothpicks, and they weren't really cutting it, but I did get them to hold back enough. Just force those brushes in. Now we're going to put this cover band on, and this kind of just snaps into place. And bring it around this side so you can see. It's got like a retainer thing going on. There it is. So there it is. So what I'm going to do now is try to install it and see if it works. If it works, great. If not, oh well, go buy a new one. So I got the generator installed. The only thing left to do is to polarize it. So I just watched a couple videos, and it's just a matter of jumping from this A terminal, or excuse me, not the A terminal, the battery terminal, to the field terminal. You just got to touch it a couple times, and it should be polarized. The guy in the video did it twice. I did it 4 times. So now I'm going to go try to start this truck and see if it's charging. I don't know if you can see that, but keys on. Funny, sometimes it starts right up. Yeah. Come on, baby. A little choke. It's not charging. Well, that sucked. All that work, taking that thing apart, putting it back together, cleaning it, painting it. And what am I going to do next? So I can buy a new one from Classic. They're $270 shipped with a $175 court charge. Or I might take a ride up to New Hampshire and see my buddy Rick. And he says he's got one for me. And it's always fun to see Rick. And I'll let you know what I do next. Thanks for watching.